Good evening and welcome everybody to another edition of the Music and Mixing Show. I'm your host DJ Michael Joseph, and if you've never been here before, welcome. If you have been here before, welcome. I think I have a pretty cool show tonight, some cool stuff. I'm going to adjust the camera here. If you've never tuned in before, one of the things we do is top of the hour, we like to go over any place that someone is from that's different from here. Feel free to give a shout out in the chat, no matter whether you're on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, or anywhere else. I will see it in the chat. I should be able to see everything in the chat tonight. We have everything running. Definitely, like I said, give a shout out where you're from, and I'll give you a shout out back, and that sort of thing. We usually take a couple minutes to top just to see, because we get a lot of people on this show who view from all over the world. So we kind of like to, check in with everybody, see how they're doing before we start. But we have a good show tonight. I have some stuff set up here for you guys to see, and some pretty cool stuff, and then we will take some questions afterwards. We're open for just about anything. So feel free to holler at me in the chat. Hello, Todd Steep. How are you doing today? I know my video is a little choppy here and there, but that's okay. I'm in the middle of like 12 different things, so we will all get over it. Again, taking a few minutes here at the top of the hour before I start, always, to see how everybody's doing. Give you a shout out. Like I said, I have all the fancy stuff set up tonight. My overhead camera is running tonight, all that kind of stuff. We will get to the topic, and also we're going to answer questions tonight. I haven't done a live show in like 2 months, and I'm back to do this tonight. And hopefully I'm not going to talk really fast like I did before. It's not a race. And try to answer your questions. And like I said, I think I have something cool tonight that I discovered, and I'm going to share it with you guys. So I hope you're doing well. Again, if you're catching me in the chat on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitch, wherever you're at, give a shout out, say hello. Let me make sure everybody's where you're tuning in from, that kind of stuff. I know it's summertime. You've got a lot of stuff going on. We had some storms that went through here a little bit ago, and I had power outage, which I rarely have power outage where I live. And so you might have power outages where you are. You might be watching me on a phone, using up your very important cell phone battery to watch this. I don't know. But definitely give a shout out, like I said. And then we're going to go into the topic tonight, and then I will answer questions after that. Open questions, whatever you guys want. Let me adjust my seat here. See where everybody is tuning in from. I'm going to look over here on this. See everybody at. Let me do a refresh here. Let me know that it's showing up everywhere that it's supposed to show up. For those watching on the Disc Jockey News YouTube page, is it coming through? Because it's telling me no one is there. So I'm hoping that that is working the way it should. Let me know. Going back to the chat. All right, so we have DJ3 Lamental. Say what's up. Grand Junction, Colorado. What's going on? How are you? Danny D is from Maryland. Storms are on the way within the hour. Stay safe, Danny. It didn't do, at least where I was at, I didn't see any damage, but it apparently was close enough to knock out the power. If you follow me on any of my social media stuff, I post different stuff than I post on the news feed. I post on the story mode, which is gone in 24 hours, and I posted my little battery pack, which I don't know if it's still around here. Yeah, I bought this years ago. It's a 27,000 milliamp battery pack, and I use it on all kinds of stuff. Reason of 27,000 because it is the largest size that you can take onto a commercial airplane. And I had a little fan plugged into this today, a light, all kinds of stuff. Stuff like this saves you in a way if you don't have a full out home thing. So that was mine, but I posted that picture today earlier. We're about 7 after, and that's kind of like where I want to start. We don't have a lot of people tuned in tonight, so hopefully you all are going to watch this on demand later on. Again, not sure what all's going on tonight. Again, it's summertime, but I came up with a thing there. What do we have here? North Virginia got hit hard. Okay, Northern Virginia, sorry. Again, hope everybody's doing well. Making sure all the channels are broadcasting there. But what we're going to talk about today is something I came across with Virtual DJ a few days ago, should I say. And I do an event. Normally I do 6 of them a year, but this year, because of other gigs that I had. I'm only getting to do 2 of them, and they are outdoor live sporting events for a professional sporting team called the Pittsburgh Thunderbirds. And one of the things with them, with the type of DJing that I do, I like to run multiple decks. So that I have on my decks 1 and 2, I have the right side for songs for when we score. I have the left side decks for when the opposing team scores. I have the sample bank dropping things like, the triple horn and things like that. And then I also like to run decks 3 and 4 so that I have stuff to play whenever there's some sort of game break, as in an injury on the field, a timeout, where the refs are maybe going over a play and talking about it, something like that. So I like to have 4 decks. And as you know now, I'm running the Rain 1, and it's only a 2-deck system. Now, I can press a little button there and flip back and forth if I want to, because that's part of the MIDI mapping that I did. But with me doing the game the way I did, I like having 4 decks with 4 volumes, 4 sets of cue buttons, everything right there. And I ended up taking my old Denon 7000 with me. And this year, I kind of didn't want to take something that big, but I needed the 4 decks. And then the next day, I started thinking about what virtual can do. And I thought, well, I wonder if I can hook up 2 controllers to one virtual DJ program and make it a 4-deck controller. And that's what I did, and that's what I'm going to show you guys tonight. So I'm going to go to the overhead view, show you what I have, and what I'm probably going to end up trying the next game we have and running it this way. And I've made all the screens really big so you guys are able to see them really well. Let me go to the screen here, demo everything. All right, so I'm up here, high, and we have the decks down here, high, and we see the stuff in the background. So right now, you're seeing this volume of 1 and 2, which I'm running this as 1 and 2. And I have master volume and all that's working the same over here. And I can have cue points and different things that I want like that. I'm going to go back to the beginning of this song, and I'm going to put a cue point there, whoop, just to show there's cue points. Then we're going to go 2, 3. I'll put another cue point here, just to show there's cue points. So, all right, so that is my 2 decks. So I need 2 more. And as you see, I have stuff loaded there on 2 more. Well, what I did was I have the little Hercules. You stop that there. So I have the little Hercules, and I have it also plugged into the computer. So I want you to take a look at right here. The sound we're hearing is coming directly from the Numark into the mixer. So the sound you're hearing is from the Numark. 1 sound out. I think that's important because a lot of times people are talking about multiple sounds out, multiple cards. 1 sound out. And this is plugged no sound out into the computer. And this now gives me access to the bottom ones. Volume up. Whoops. It's not on vinyl mode. That was working on vinyl mode a bit ago. I guess that's all I'm going to get out of vinyl mode. Little scratches. We'll try another song in there. Boop, maybe that was something to do with it. So I'm not sure why vinyl mode's not working on this now. It was before. So you can scratch if you want. But one of the cool things that I thought, we're going to load this back up here. As you see that the top one is 100 BPM. The bottom is 103. If I hit the sync on the yellow ones here, it will sync it down to where it is. So let's say those are off again, and I want to hit the sync on the Numark. If I remember where the sync is on this. Sync's right there. Syncs. So in the same program, 2 different pieces of hardware are all working off of the one program. Volume, crossfader. Scratch is not working there, it's working here. So if they're synced now, and they're both working on that. So how I did that was actually quite simple. We're going to go on to here, and we're going to go zoomed. Sorry, I want to go zoomed. And I want to bring up the menu and put it in a spot where you guys can see it. So as we go in here, you see that I have Mix Track Pro, Starlight, both of them in there, channels 1 and 2, 3 and 4. But that is not the interesting thing. You go to Mapping, and I highlight Newmark, and then I choose that it's running automatic decks 1 and 2. And then I go here and I do the Hercules, and I say that it's controlling decks 3 and 4. And then I get out of there, because that's all I need to do. And I'm back to everything working the way it was. And I thought that was kind of neat to be able to do that. And I know it's probably not most people is even remotely interested in doing that. But for me, in that option of looking at 4 decks for something, I'm not mixing at the game. I'm just playing stuff. So if I want to, all of a sudden jump over after, this one's going, stop it and then start into the other one. Bring the volume down on it, back up, do whatever I need to do. And that's one of the things that I said that I thought was kind of neat between all that, the way that works. And that was pretty much all I'm going to show tonight. But again, it just shows the power of what Virtual DJ can do. There's so much stuff this program can do. I still joke around saying that this is why it's supposed to be called Versatile DJ, not Virtual DJ, because it's just, there's so much to it. That's basically all I wanted to show tonight, and I thought we were going to have a lot of people tuned in. We have some more people tuning in. Appreciate everybody tuning in. But I will open it up to questions tonight on anything. It doesn't have to necessarily be Virtual DJ. It can be anything. Let me know how everything's going in the chat, if you're hearing everything, seeing everything. But feel free to throw out your questions now, whether it's about this, just Virtual DJ, or anything else, because we have the whole hour here tonight to do whatever I want. DJ Miz asks, any new updates for VDJ 2023? Now, here's the weird thing. They usually kick out their next version of Virtual DJ in June. Well, the summer edition. So we should have gotten last fall Virtual DJ 2023, and then like June or July, get Virtual DJ 2023 Summer Edition. They always run it like a year ahead. So I'm not sure if they've changed that up, because right now it is Virtual DJ 2021 Summer Edition. They've not given us a 2022 version yet. They continue to do updates. There's always updates, but they will drop a name difference sometimes, because right now they are just left screen zoomed, and we are looking at version, this is the early access, so it's going to be one ahead of everybody else. It's the 8.5-64. That means it's the 64-bit version, 7021. So that is again version from what we would call the 2021 Summer Edition one. It would be 2022. I mean, the last 2 letters would be 2022 there if it was the 22. So I'm not sure why they haven't done that yet. I think that they are working on some stuff that's coming up, and I'm kind of have an idea of some of it, and I'm kind of excited to see what some of it is, including I think that they're going to bring out a mobile app that you can run this on a phone or a tablet or something like that. So I'm hoping that that's maybe something that they're doing. I'm not sure what else. I mean, they have their little mobile app, but the mobile app controls the program on the laptop. But I'm talking about one that you can run, like the new algorithm set theirs up to do that. So DJ MS has always checked the Virtual J-Log, get updates every month, but I was just wanting to know if there's any big updates coming soon. Yeah, aside from, again, this computer, like I always tell on my show, that they have an early access and a standard access. And early access is a little bit past beta, because there are people that beta test it, so it's a little bit past beta, but you can get the early access updates. So my studio computer gets the early access updates, but my DJ computer stays on the standard access updates. And that's just kind of so that, you know, that they get the bugs out before I put it in the computer that I make all the money with. But this one here gets all the early access updates, and they were doing updates recently that will remove duplicates in the side list or the auto mix list. And they were doing which ones is it removed at the top of the list or bottom of the list, stuff like that. Little tweaks with certain different controllers or mixers or different things like that they're working with. I see that they're still tweaking some of the stuff for the Apple M2 chip and different things like that. So that's a lot of what they're working on right now that they're releasing. We can go to the, real quick, we can go to the, what's it called? The changelog here real quick. And we'll take a look at it, and you can see some of the things that it's done. If I can get that to go bigger. All right, changelog. We're going to look at the other screen, left screen. All right, so we are signed in as me. I'm going to get rid of me here. Boop. And this is the standard changelog that's right now. They were doing some of the stuff with the MIDI fighter controller stuff, improved video performance, plugins, pitch bend stuff for motorized jog wheels, which again is something that I see that's out there. The new NS4FX, which I always have trouble saying that, which is basically the 4-channel version of the new mark that I have in front of me, which I am considering upping to it to give me my 4-channel controller, but I'm not sure yet. I don't know if I want to go there because it's a lot more money. But if you go to the early access on that, it gives you a little bit different more. They're fixing and removing duplicates on auto mix or the side list. It kind of works the same for that. Mac fixes on that. You can see different things that they're doing on there, the scratch DNA and whatnot. And that's just kind of what they're working on lately. And like I said, I kind of see that is some of the stuff, but they have not released a 2022 version yet. We're still in 2021. Someone said the present mobile app really needs updating. Again, remember, it's not a mobile app. It's a remote to the regular app. I'm talking about where you do not have a computer plugged in, that you just run off your phone or a tablet. The program is on that, and that's what you're running. If you've seen the new algorithm program, that's what they're doing with that to where it even works with DVS. So you can technically hook up your phone, and it's currently working with just Apple products because their algorithm DJ AI program only works with Apple phone and laptop. I'm pretty sure it does work on a laptop the same way. And currently it's only on there, but that you can via a USB connection into a controller, or the way they're doing it, hooking it into a mixer that has a USB in, like you would be hooking up your computer, and it can actually read DVS files to run vinyl with control code on it. And that's the stuff that I think is coming out. I know about 3 years back I talked to Serato people that they're working on a mobile version, not a mobile app, a mobile version of the program. And that's where I always said that's where I think that our what we're going to in the future, we're going to be, it's people talking about the all-in-ones, you stick your thumb drive in, but like I said on a show I was talking with Dan about, that becomes a pain. So let's say I want to update my hard drive that's in that all-in-one, and that all-in-one is packed away. I have to go unpack that, plug it in, do all these things. But if I do everything from the tablet instead of a laptop or a phone, stuff that you're there, I can just pick it up and work on it, especially with phones with larger screens like my Fold, that becomes something that's always instantly and always right in front of you that you can work on your, and again, memory for these things is getting larger and larger. So talk about a terabyte on a phone is nothing nowadays. So I think, like I said, as these things change, I think that tablet phone app setup for DJing is going to be the next thing. And here's one of the reasons why I think it's going to be the next thing, is because right now, most of us, with the apps, programs that we use to DJ, we purchase them. So we drop like $300 on the program, and then we don't pay them anything else. Well, Serato, you have to pay extras on stuff, but Virtual, I bought mine, was it 12, 14 years ago, and I've never paid another penny. But if they go to the apps and you want to use the app on a phone or a tablet, they're going to go, we no longer do purchases, it's only subscriptions. So they're going to get you for a monthly from then on out. And that's why I think it's what's going to push it, because if you want to know why anything happens in the world, it's always because of money. So that's that there. So moving down on to the questions. Ms. says, how long would you keep a mixer DJ controller before thinking it's time to update? I have the VDJ 1000 back in 2017, works great, but a little wear and tear on it after a few years. Again, it all depends, because I know people, like I recently have sold 2 of my Denon MC6000s, and that is about an 8-year-old controller. I tend to get a new controller every 2 to 3 years. I was looking for Denon to come out with something last year, 2020, sorry, but as 2020 went, because I think, if I'm correct, I picked up my 7000 in 2017. So I had it for 3 years, and I was looking for something. Couldn't find anything from Denon because all they were doing were the standalones. And I ended up going with the Rain 1. And again, I tend to keep them every 3 years, 2 to 3 years. So that one was about 4 years on the 7000, which I still have. And I'm debating on selling it because there is such a shortage on everything right now. It's not even funny that it's tough to get anything And if you want to see how crazy things are, go to Guitar Center's used section and look at the price of used equipment there, and it will blow your mind. And that's why I'm considering holding on to the 7000, because if for some reason, now my Rain 1 is fully warranted for 3 years. No matter what happens to it, it's warranted. But right now, with the economy and supply and stuff like that, I have no idea how long it will take them to replace it or repair it. So I'm trying to think, what would I do in case of an emergency with that going down? I may be keeping the 7000 just simply because I need a pro-level controller as a backup, which I had hoped to find another thing or maybe pick up another Rain 1 as a pro-level backup. But right now, there's not much of anything, and from what I understand talking to John from Disc Jockey News, that we're not going to expect a whole lot of new stuff, even in the fall for DJ Expo. There's probably going to be a couple things, but you're not going to see all the brands put out something brand new. It's a little sketchy right now. So when it comes to answering your question, how long do you keep a mixer or controller, you're going to have to see what works for you. Like I said, I know people that just bought the 6000, which is a zillion years old, that's what they use every single gig, and that's fine. So you have to see what works for you. I like to stay up with new stuff. I like the technology. I like to advance. I went for the Rain 1 simply because it has the motorized platters, and I absolutely love motorized platters. But I got tired of carrying around the NS7, which weighed a stupid amount, but it was a great controller. Don't get me wrong. And the Rain fit me. I don't see myself moving to the thank you. Someone in the chat, please block people there. One of our moderators. I don't have access to block user on YouTube. I think they're blocked. There we go. People putting stupid stuff in the bots. But like I said, that I don't know what's going to be coming out. And I don't think, in my opinion, that the Rev 7 is something that I want. I'm not a big Pioneer fan because within their hardware, they always tend to lock things up within there where you can't access them. They're not fully 100% open MIDI controllers like everybody else, and I just kind of want to stay away from that if I can. And that's my thing with that. DJ Miz says, I would like a Prime Go, but a little bigger jog wheels would be nice if they update that controller. That's an interesting look at the Prime Go. It in itself, to me, the only redeeming quality it has that is different from others is that it is battery operated, and you can use it maybe for an outdoor event for a short time. You can't do a lot with it, but you can use it standalone, battery operated with battery operated speakers, and you can DJ for that. That's good. But aside from that, I think there are a lot better options that will give you a small controller, even a small standalone controller, than the Prime Go. I'm not a fan of Prime's engine software. Within the hardware that it's used, whether it's in the Prime Go or the Prime 4 or whatever, any of those, there are little things that it doesn't do. Like, let's say you have a song in there in Prime, and you're just looking at it via the hard drive or thumb drive in the controller. You can't delete that program, that song within that. You have to hook up that device somehow, whether it be you pulling the thumb drive and putting it in a laptop or plugging in the standalone that has the internal hard drive in the laptop to delete something. And something as simple as that, there's just too many shortcomings like that I don't want to go to. It's not for me. I'm not saying it's bad. They're solid machines, but it's just not for me. So I just don't want to go that route. Miz says, I like the Rev 7, but I love my 4-channel. Yeah, I'm the same way, that I love the Rain 1, but it just, there are days you might want to plug something else in, or that, like I said, that I do those 6 sport events a year that I want the 4-channel, that brought on this entire thing here. You know, the whole Tonight Show was about that I don't know. I mean, they are talking, I know that Rain is talking about 4-channel Rain 1s. And also they're also talking about, instead of the 7.2-inch platters, they may go to like a 9-inch platter or a 10-inch platter and be a 2-channel. So I have no idea where that's going to go to. Nobody's given me any kind of inside information. It's just when you ask a certain question, because when I'm around those guys and I ask questions that I see the eye look or this way, or if they look down to the left, their body English that tells about stuff, and I know that they're hinting away from stuff they're working on. which, like I said, I knew that the rain one was coming because I couldn't even tell you how many years ago. 3 years ago, 2019 it would have been, 2019. I asked about, will there be another NS7, an NS7 IV? And they said, the NS7's pretty much discontinued. And I'm like, oh, they're working on something else with platters. And that was my first thought. And, and they had just come out with the 12s. And I'm like, there's going to be a motor-sized platter because they're all, Rain and Newmark and all of those are owned by the same company in music. So I kind of knew that was coming. But other than that, I don't have any information on stuff, so... Robin, oh, it's all good. Don't worry about Robin. I clicked on it here. Hopefully it did that. Here, Miz says, I stick with VDJ. Been with it for years. Never failed on me. Yeah, I'm a virtual DJ person. Back in, like, it was 2008 or something like that, I decided to look through some programs and tried them all out. And I really tried to get Tractor to work because I really like Tractor. Tried to get it. It just didn't work for me. And I did not like Virtual DJ 6. And then when I was at the expo and... we are getting bots in here tonight. Hard. Anyways, what was I saying? Oh, and I went to the expo that fall, and they were giving away sample copies on CD for Virtual 7. And when I got home from the expo, I tried Virtual 7 out, and it was awesome. And that's where I started with and stuck with it forever. We have a lot more people tuned in. Thank you all for tuning in. In case you missed it at the top of the hour, you're going to have to go back and watch this on demand. But what I did is I did a demo where I showed... oops, nope, not that. Yeah, I showed the fact that I'm controlling decks 1 and 2 with this, and decks 3 and 4 with this. So, 2 different controllers, 1 program. I've now created a 4-channel DJ controller that gives me 4 of everything that I can control. Right, left, deck, the whole 9 yards. So that's what you missed. Thank you, Robin. You're awesome. For those of you who know, we have a lot of other shows. And like I said, summertime here on Disc Jockey News, some of our shows have kind of tapered off for summer. We were supposed to have we have a monthly expo type thing where people come on and speak, different people in the industry, all on topics. And that was supposed to be last night, but because summertime, people have, pardon me, events going on, we put that on hold. I don't know when that's coming back. I don't know what I'm going to do with my shows. I'm still working on my stuff. Those of you who follow me know that I'm putting out a book, and I've now started doing the audio recording of the book because I decided that I'm not much of a book reader, but I do audiobooks all the time. And I said, well, I'm my own demographic that I'm missing, so I do an audiobook for it. So that is still coming on that. And I just have a feeling that part of my life's going to, take on its own thing. So I'm kind of going to be divided between the DJ world and that. I look at them, all of them together as the same because I love being creative. And they're all different ways of being creative. I mean, there's stuff that I don't even post about, pictures I draw. And I do a lot of photography stuff that I absolutely love. So it's all going to be something in the future. So I don't know where this show's going to be. So stick with me on that. We're open for any questions tonight. We still got a lot of time here. DJ Rex says, I did this with Serato and same controllers. Cool. Yeah, I never even thought about it until, like I said, after I did that gig, because I intended to take the little controller here. I really intended to take this thing to the event. And again, one of the reasons why I bought this one is because it has the same layout as the Rain 1. So if I'm doing my paddles and effects, it's still all going to be the same. And that was my intention with this. And then I'm thinking, well, I don't have the ability to do 4 decks there, so I had to use the 7000. And then afterwards I said, well, can't I just put these together? Because these are my main here. This is going to be my mains. But then again, all I need to do is every once in a while press play and play the next thing and stop it and load a new song. And that's all I needed to do. And I'm like, wow, I can actually do that. And I thought that was kind of cool. But it's good that you can do it with other ones. Again, I think it's cool. I love the fact that I get to work with, I think that's one of the things that draws me to DJing so much that I love is the technology. A lot of people go, oh, it's about the music, it's about the crowds, about this. For me, it's all the technology things that I get to constantly mess with and be creative, like with virtual and all the stuff I do with virtual. I like that. So, any other questions in the chat out there? How's everybody doing tonight? Where are you tuning in? Hope you're doing well. I was talking at the top of the hour that I had some weather here and electricity was out for a while, so I hope everybody's doing well. I know John from Disc Jockey News showed a picture. He's way up there, near like this far away from Canada, and he had in the car temperature the other day was 108 degrees, and I called him out on fake news. I said, "There's no way it gets that warm up there," but it does, you know. So. There we go. All right, so I had to block somebody here too. Day and Night says we love the toys. We are. I swear half the time that we DJ to make money to buy more DJ things. I don't know, maybe. DJ Miz says, do you think Virtual DJ Team will come up with the Cara Fun for better karaoke and virtual DJ software? It's entirely possible, but I think that they have set their virtual DJ thing where it's going to be. Because aside from a dedicated karaoke software, I think this is kind of the best karaoke software that is DJ oriented also. So I don't know what else they're going to do. I would like to see them integrate more, especially more streaming tracks, so that maybe you can subscribe to some karaoke stuff besides their virtual DJ thing, because their streaming karaoke doesn't have a large number of tracks, in my opinion. But it's hard to say. They're working on a lot, but I'm trying to get some information, and nobody really gives me anything on that. So I would like to see them team up with somebody like that, but I can't promise it. I've not heard anything. But to me, the future of a lot of that streaming music, it's... let me explain this the best way I can. I'm downloading new songs yesterday, and I'm going down through the Billboard Hot 100, Top 40 Billboard Hot 100, grabbing anything that's new on the chart. And there are several different streaming services that I subscribe to, and none of them had about 5 or 6 of the songs that were in the top 40 at that point. And I had to get them through streaming services. So Virtual DJ's iDJ Pool had it, and Deezer had it. But my other download services did not have these songs. So I look at it that way, that, you know, that's probably the way a lot of stuff's going to go in the future. I'll definitely want to say hello to, he asked a question earlier. I'm going to say this wrong. Mezai? I'm going to say that wrong. Tune in from Trinidad. Thank you. Trying to get into karaoke for extra money for gigs, but virtual seems not as good as for their company on their site. Yeah, they're streaming. There's just not a lot there for that. I think their software is good for karaoke. It's not... there's other better karaoke software out there, but I think if you just want one software to do it all, Virtual, I think, has a great karaoke setup for that. What do you think about line array speakers like RFC Evo 12 compared with regular speakers on a tripod? Here's the funny thing. As trends go, to me, you can spend the same amount of money and get the same amount of sound from either way you go, buying a sub and a top, or buying an array that has a plug-in bottom. But with the way things are in trends, it's kind of getting to be, and this is just my opinion, getting to be that the array looks more professional. That's just my opinion, that I think because of how it looks, that it looks that way. I still use QSC K12s that are now, I believe, almost 10 years old. I don't do a lot of the mobile gigs like you do, because 99% of what I do is at one of the casinos in the area. That's what I DJ. A few gigs I do here and there, I'll pull the 12s out, stick them on a pole for what I do. It works for me. I'm not doing the weddings. I do no weddings. I don't do a lot of other stuff. But in my opinion, the reason people are going with the arrays is that they're kind of simple to set up. You don't have as many cords and different things. They look really clean. But in my opinion, I don't think you're getting... If you spend the same amount of money, I don't think you're getting, in my opinion, a better sound with the arrays versus a sub and a top. I just think it's cleaner and simpler. And that's why everybody's leaning that way. I'm looking at a pair of small array, an 8 array, because I do a cafe occasionally where I don't need the 12s. The 8s are fine. And I'm looking into a double 8 array. And that's maybe something I'm going to go that way. That's just my opinion. Yeah, Miz says RF speakers look a lot older than tripod. Agreed. Clients only care about the sound, in my opinion. I think it's funny, Robin, because I think it's a little bit of everything. They may be perfectly okay with a DJ using speakers on a pole, and they may be equally okay with a person using arrays, but you put them side by side, and I bet they're going to look at the array and go, oh, this is neat, I like this. And it's not anything professional that they're looking at. It's just a general person's aesthetic view. And that's why I think that that's leaning that way, is that it's just a general, oh, this looks nice kind of thing. So you're not wrong for doing the polls, by no means, but I think that that's what it's kind of leaning towards. It gives it, because it doesn't show as much, and the bottom of them is a speaker as opposed to legs just jutting out in every direction, unless you have them mounted on some sort of, I want to say scaffolding, but you know what I mean, that it just looks a little cleaner. That's all. That's why I'm a big advocate of hooking up your system and making your cords neat. I am about to start, like, what's one of the Facebook pages about ugly DJ setups and different things like that. I want to do one on just cords. Nothing more than you spent thousands of dollars on equipment, but you can't run your cords in anything. I mean, they're cords on the table, not below the table, hidden on the table, look like a snake fight. It looks like a snake fight. So that's just mine. Clients like both now that they want good sound, but they want to look nice and not a mess. Yeah, a mess is the key thing there, I think. I think that if like I said, if you're anal like me and has to have every single cord tucked in, running a line along here, one of the tricks I always do, and I got it from Dan Carpenter here at Distroggy News, is that I went to Lowe's and got their runners for outdoor steps. So it's like a rubber bottom, so it's like an outdoor mat, but it's skinny and long for a step, and I got a few of those, and you can lay those down behind the DJ area where you might have wires going here. You can put those over top of the wires, and just that, and I'm talking about the simplest thing is buying, like, I think they were like $10 for 2 or $10 for 12 or 15, whatever it was, and just by having those laying over the cords really neaten stuff up, and stuff like that kind of, I think it helps, in my opinion. Baba Tunde, again, I am horrible with names. Hope I said that right. Drunk client almost knocked down my speakers on tripods. Drunk people are the worst. That's all I'm going to say. I mean, they pay our bills, but dang, come on, learn how to walk, people. But on the same opposite of that, one of the gigs I did at the casino this past year was outside, and the way they had my speakers, we had to run wires up to the speakers where they're at. There was a special event. So they brought out those little things that you flip the top over, put your cord in the channel, and it closes over, has a nice little up and a down and a yellow so that you can see it. So there was one on my right side, one on my left side, neatly covering the cord, safety, excuse me, all that kind of stuff. And I would say at least half of the people tripped on them as they walked through. Half. Looking down. I saw one person look down at it, trip over it, look back, walk forward, trip over the next one. I could not believe how many people trip over it. So you have to look. It's way beyond that. They just don't pay attention, in my opinion. But then again, you know how I am with people. So yeah, so little things like that, carpet mats. Yeah, so that's kind of what it is. My thing is a cheap cable mat. That's all it is. Like I said, you can go to like one of the Home Depot, Lowe's, and look for outdoor carpet, outdoor stair runners. And that's all. I got a few of those. Like I said, Dan showed me them, and they worked really good for that, and I'm very thankful for that. But little things like that can go a long way to really neatening up your stuff. And again, I'm a very advocate person, making it look clean. Like some of these people, I don't know. This is how far I go with mine. And I don't know if I have a picture here. I'm going to see if I can find the picture to show you. But I bought special cords for my Rain. I know it's going to take me a little bit of time here to find this, because this was first of the year. I bought special cords to plug into my Rain that are all right angle to make it look cleaner. I'm searching back through, so if you're wondering, I'm just scrolling here through boatloads of pictures from that I keep on the server. I don't know how far I have to go back. Go back further than that, because I think it was when did I get January or February? I got the rain. Back to your questions. I'm seeing the questions pop up there. Definitely going to get there. But I kind of want to show you what I did with these cords and how much in my opinion, I feel it neatened it up. And I've added even more since then, which I should probably have a better picture than that. I don't know if I have one of that. So if I don't have the right angles, the final setup I have with the right angles on here, I'll just tell you about them. Besides, I'm scrolling back. I'm looking back at pictures from... I sorta have them there. All right, so I'll share this. Left screen. And we will hide me. All right, so this is kind of the setup I have right now on my Rain. So I have a right angle power cord, a right angle USB, and 2 right angle XLRs to neaten up the back when I have it setting on a table. Why? To neaten it up. Is it better? No. Is it anything? No. I just want to be anal about making it as neat as possible. And if you're wondering, I've customized my decks so they look way different right now. But this is my basic setup with when I'm out with my Rain to make it look absolutely as neat as I can from the backside. So that's that. So we're going to get back to questions here. Glad I was able to find that. Drunk people ripped out a column on my friend's array. It cannot be repaired. That's the weird thing, that everything is damageable by drunk people. The power of alcohol. Have you ever experienced frequency change between your mic and receiver after it was previously paired? 99% of what I do, because I don't do weddings and stuff, all my mics are wired. So I have a Shure SM58 wireless that I maybe use once every couple of years, so I can't help you. I've never had a problem with that, but again, you might need to ask somebody else who deals a lot with that. Like I said, I don't deal with that side. The show's called Music and Mixing because that's kind of what I do with my job. I mix music and stuff like that. I don't do the weddings. I don't talk to the crowd. I don't get out and dance. I don't any of that. I get hired because of my mixing ability. And we're going down here. Previous one plus, once you buy those, you don't have to rebuy like gaff tape. Yeah, again, it's also plus. Some places do not allow you to put gaff tape down. So that was another thing that I found at certain schools and different things I did in the past. Do not allow you to put any kind of tape down. Masking tape, gaff tape, they don't want any of that. And this is just a simple way. Like I said, Dan put me onto it, and I'm like, this solves a lot of my problems. They're the perfect size. I throw them right on the bottom of the cart as I'm taking them. They take up. They're just great for that. Babatunde is the phonetic spelling. Babatunde. Okay, thank you. I apologize about that. Babatunde. Thank you. That helped a lot. You mean right angle into the wall, which lays them flat. Ms., I'm guessing that's a post from before I showed the picture. Right angles into the Rain, because most people just have straight cords sticking out from their controllers, XLR cords, power cords, USB cords, and then they don't do anything with them, like run them neatly across the front. They just let them tangle there. Like I said, it looks like a snake fight. So that's what I'm talking about. When you hit the table, at least put them along neatly. Something. You don't have to be as anal as I did and have everything just kind of disappear, but take a couple seconds. That's all I'm saying. Chroma Cables, they're good, but you pay a lot for them. I've had some friends that have problems when they pull out, that the metal pulls away from the cable. I use pretty basic, I don't know if I have them. Oh, I have it plugged into one of these right now, I think. Yeah, I don't think you can see that here. The ones I get have I can't even think of what these are called. I'm about to knock something over here. The magnets on both ends that help with a little bit of static. That's about as far as I go with them. I don't fuss around with a lot of stuff. Moving on down. We're getting close to the top of the hour. Still feel free to throw out those. Yeah, they're about 3 feet cable mats. Let me see if I can find them online here real quick. So there are several here. I want to find a simple one here. There we go. This is a good thing here. Let me go left screen. So this is kind of what they look like. Kind of mine are a little bit different, but they're rubber bottom, and they don't wrap around. They stick on top of the thing, but you get the outdoor ones that are weatherproof. They're thicker, a little bit heavy. This here is probably a good picture of it right there, with the rubber bottom and that sort of thing. Mine are kind of like that. Yeah, they're a lot like those right there. I don't even know what channel I'm going to here, but they're a lot like that right there. Carpeting on the top, rubber on the bottom, and just get a couple of them, and that's all you have to do with them. And like I said, they're really great, really quick for just covering stuff up, and you can get away with that. Almost to the top of the hour. Final few questions here. We got a lot of people tuned in. Thank you so much for tuning in, for joining me on this summer night. It's summer here where I'm at. If you're on the other half of the world, you're not in summer. Yesterday was the first day of summer, actually, for us. So that would have been the first day of winter for you, I'm guessing, right? I don't know. But tonight on the show, like I said, we showed on how that I turned with virtual using two channel controllers, made it a viable 4-channel controller if you needed to control 4 decks for any reason. And again, to a lot of you, you might think it's stupid, but to me it was kind of interesting just that I was able to do that with equipment in front of me and be able to do that. And like I said, it was just neat for me. That was all. And I hope you guys enjoy. If anybody watching it on demand, appreciate that. If you did not see it at the top of the hour, go back after the show, and it's going to be on demand. It's going to be there, and you can watch it and do whatever you want to. I will also take some ideas for stuff going on this summer. I don't know what all I'm going to be doing. Like I said, I'm working on a lot of stuff with the book. I met with a marketing person today about that. So that whole world of mine is going its own direction. DJing at the casinos is going its own direction. I feel so ridiculously blessed right now with the freedom I have to be creative. And that's a big thing for me, is creating this life, this creative life that I don't need to take a vacation from. And right now I'm embracing as much of it as I can. And I'm trying to focus a lot more on being the creative person instead of teaching. And that's why I've kind of backed away from a lot of my DJ classes. I'm strictly only doing them right now through Guitar Center, and that's it. But I want to see where it's going. So if you have any ideas for what you'd like to see this summer, more virtual DJ shows, less virtual DJ shows, stuff on hardware, me babbling endlessly, I could read the phone book to you, whatever you want. A few more things here on the end. Excuse me. What do you think about these lights? Rockwell battery, PAR 6. I don't know them at all. I'm going to look them up real quick while we're here, and we may all look at them together. Otherwise, it will not let me copy that. Let's see if I do this. Copy and paste. I don't deal with lights a lot. Oh, those are decent. A friend of mine, I don't know who they were, bought them recently, and they like them. Can't tell you a lot about them, but they do like them. Very solid, good burn time. What were they complaining about? Because it wasn't missing like a UV. It has the UV, it has all that, but like I said, they're good. I don't do a lot with lights. I have a pair of old Gig Bar LTs, which have been discontinued. Been using those for years also, and I have a lot of other cheap lights. I only spend my money on expensive computers and expensive controllers. I'm so sorry I can't help you out with that. Remote range is weak. Oh, for those. So maybe someone in the chat can help you. Robin, if you could please drop in the link to the DJ and TV Insiders Chill Room. We have been doing this. We started it when the COVID lockdown happened, and it is an online chat where it's open every single night, where you can go in and hang out with other DJs. It's not about going and showing your DJ skill. It's just talking about anything you want. And that would be the place to stop in there one night. And I warn you, for me living on the East Coast, people don't tune in there till like midnight and then go to way in the morning. We have people tune in from all over the world for that. But that would be the place to go and ask some of the people like Robin and other people, and you'll be able to talk. You don't have to just type the questions, but you could bring to them the Rockville Par questions and other questions like that. Thank you, Robin. That they can maybe be able to answer, because some of those may have tried them out. Some of the people have still already gotten a chance to go to a few different expos around the country. What was the one in LA? NAMM. And then they just had the Marquee Show that was in Chicago. And some of these people might have gotten a chance to either get their hands on them or a chance to talk to someone who owns them. So some of the people in the chat, Robin says they're late night people. It is what it is. But there's some people there that might be able to answer some of those questions. Like I said, they don't. Here for the East Coast right now, it is almost 10 p.m. I don't expect anybody to be in there till 11 in the chat room, but they're there till like my time, well into the 4 a.m. kind of stuff. So feel free to go there any night, hang out, spread the news. Again, thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate everybody tuning in tonight. Day Night says, I have Ape Lab Maxis. They're awesome. Price is insane. Yeah, I'm a fan of Ape Lights from the very beginning, but they are pricey. So if you can afford them, and you don't need monstrously bright lights, they're great for a lot of different situations. That's my, and I got to in Vegas in 2020 at the photo booth / DJ Expo. They had the chill out room there set up with all 8 products, and I was very impressed with them. So, but again, if you have any ideas for shows coming up this summer, things you want to see or don't want to see, let me know. I still do the Monday night show with John and Dan, so it is just kind of an open night there where we get together and we talk about all kinds of things, answer questions. That's on Monday nights, 9 p.m. here on Disc Jockey News, Eastern Time. And for everything else, thank you guys for tuning in. Please pay attention to all my social media. Some of the things are going to be changing on that too, so if you followed me on DJ Michael Joseph on any of those, look for I Am MJ on those, because as it goes forward, I'm going to be transferring over from DJ Michael Joseph to I Am MJ, and that's what my website is, iammj.com, as in who are you, I Am MJ. And on those, it'll be like stuff for social media. So I currently still have up, Facebook is facebook.com/IamMJFB. Instagram is IG. TikTok is TT, and a lot of the stuff is going to be going that way so that I can encompass all the stuff I do, the book, the DJing, all the other artistic stuff under one roof. So pay attention to that. The social medias are all up, so you can go check them out. You can even go to immj.com, and on that landing page gets you links, as in like my own little link tree, to all of those. So feel free to start following those, because I am going to be moving over to that. It's me, DJ Mario. How often do you have that? I bet you have to have that sample when you DJ. There's no way. Hi, it's me, Mario. Sorry, and that's what I'm going to end my show on. Again, thank you guys for tuning in. Take care of each other. It's crazy world. We are only going to survive by looking out for each other. As simple as that. No more backstabbing. No more calling people names online. None of that crap. I'm calling it no more. Be there for each other or don't be there. Period. Till next time, take care of yourselves. God bless and good night.